In late 2025, Claude gets a tiny feature that fits inside one text file. After 9 months, its repositories have accumulated 250,000 stars. These are called agent skills. Let's evaluate the top 10 Claude skill repositories based on GitHub stars. We fetched today's star counts. Here, a skill is just a folder. Inside is a plain English file named skill.md, containing instructions, not code. Claude only opens this when the task requires it. This simple method works without using huge prompts, fine-tuning, or APIs. Claude reads the first line for activation rules, loading the remaining context only if space allows. This is called progressive disclosure. Thousands copied the folder because it was so simple. Right then, the star ratings stopped adding up. First, the header line indicates when to trigger this PDF tool, followed by the sequential steps, that is, the entire content of the file. First, Claude filters through hundreds of those header lines, selecting only the specific entries that match the current task at hand. While this might remind you of plugins or familiar MCP servers, it is actually much less complicated than either option. You don't need to install software, manage servers, or configure settings. This simple text file is what the model reads. Its straightforward nature is why it spread so fast. Coming in 10th, Composio's awesome Claude skills boasts 67,000 stars. You won't find any executable code in this repository, as it is actually just a list. Tonight, we focus on this manually selected index that points you directly to the best user-created programs which are already rated and organized. When browsing GitHub, the guide to valuable code is frequently worth more than the code itself. Created by Eddie Osmani, a leading Google engineer who built a major part of Chrome, this public repository shares his personal collection of agent skills, currently boasting more than 77,000 stars and counting. Notice these professional coding skills from a creator whose software runs on billions of browsers with over 8,000 adapted copies, called forks. The lesson is clear. Once Eddie Osmani shares a code template online, developers immediately implement it without asking any questions. Number 8. Graphify. It received 82,000 stars for mastering a single task and executing it perfectly. After targeting a cluttered directory of source code, the tool maps out the entire codebase into a relational graph that the AI agent can easily navigate. Huge repositories silently cause AI agents to fail because the model simply cannot process that entire codebase within its active memory at once. Graphify gives Claude clear directions instead of a puzzle. Sitting at number 7 is Caveman, which easily claims the finest name in technology. Boasting 88,000 GitHub stars, this code repository features a humorous tagline about reducing AI text tokens. But beneath that lighthearted joke lies a highly functional and serious software project. By restructuring Claude's responses, this software cuts the tokens, or text units used, by about 65%. Equal results for much less money. Coming in 6th is UI/UX Pro Max. One single design skill earned 104,000 stars. When you prompt the system to build a user interface, it actively avoids delivering the bland, gray, generic layouts that other AI models typically generate. This is for designers and founders who cannot code, but will immediately spot a poorly designed user interface. A much larger group of people ended up discovering one skill. Not a single item came from a corporation. So far, every repository is just one developer fixing their own problem and sharing the code freely. Certain items here serve as curated directories of projects from other creators. Others do just one thing perfectly. Notice how at higher levels, these methods stop being simple skills and become structured systems. Also, pay close attention to the dates here. Both Caveman and Graphify debuted in April. Check out ECC and Matt Bocock's latest repository. Most of these top 10 entries are under 8 months old. This entire product class is completely new. People stopped treating these code repositories as simple plugins, quietly running them as entire operating systems to power their AI agents. Anthropic/Skills is their official reference repository. Earning 160,000 GitHub stars, this repository stands as the clearest model online for teaching developers how to properly program a voice application. Anthropic created agent skills and established the standards. Despite inventing the term, their official code repository only ranks at number 5. The community's repository earned roughly 4 times more stars than the founding company's project. Coming in fourth is Matt Pocock's confidently named repository, simply called Skills, pulled directly from my Claude folder. Rather than creating a sales funnel, landing page, or product pitch, he simply shared his own daily workflow. Because of this, 165,000 people immediately signed up to use whatever system Matt was running. Oddly enough, the third option also lacks any programming code. This single Claude.md text file is a simple document summarizing Andrej Karpathy's public notes on how these AI coding models actually think and function. A single text file holds data on 190,000 stars. Karpathy never actually released this work as a consumer product or functional tool. The entire internet went crazy after someone carefully documented the exact programming workflow used by one of the most brilliant minds in artificial intelligence. Our second option, called ECC, is the true exception to tonight's lineup. To be fair, accumulating 228,000 GitHub stars, which are just popularity bookmarks, doesn't actually require any real technical expertise. It has evolved into a complete agent framework. This unified system combines skills, memory, instincts, and security to fundamentally redesign agent operations, inspiring over 35,000 developer code copies called forks. By this stage, people no longer wanted just one skill. They required a fully assembled brain, leaving only option 1. Recall our first warning. This isn't Anthropic's AI by far. But the main feature is its advanced superpowers. 252,000 stars. To visualize this, that size easily beats the official Anthropic code repository and Karpathy's model file put together, with a lot of capacity to spare. Superpowers is the complete package. By combining a structured skills framework with a practical development workflow, this system deploys finished software using autonomous agents without requiring constant human supervision. Next, let us examine the most astonishing aspect of this setup. This entire project was kicked off last October by a programmer named Obra, right as Skills first launched. Within 9 months, this project became one of the platform's most highly starred repositories, surpassing complex frameworks that took teams years to build, despite starting as a single markdown file inside a folder. The key to winning wasn't using a better model. This meant documenting your coding method in plain text to distribute it for free. So let's step back for a broader view. Today, one community directory lists more than 1,000 of these capabilities, which work across Gemini, Claude, Cursor, and Codex simultaneously. Almost immediately, the format became too advanced for its original software. It features a style tool designed to eliminate dull and repetitive AI text, a search function that scans the past month of social media on Reddit, X, and YouTube, plus a directory of 1,900 single-line tools. And although these top projects boast hundreds of thousands of GitHub stars, their true value lies in thousands of functional capabilities, ranging from executing simple commands to analyzing entire code bases. And this toolkit is rapidly expanding with new features every single day. Let's pause for a moment and consider what these sorted results really mean. We can identify 3 key factors here, and every single one presents a troubling challenge for anyone directing a major artificial intelligence research laboratory. This file standard was so accessible and easy to duplicate that independent developers quickly outpaced the very company that created it. In this line of work, things rarely move this quickly. Next, 5 of the top 10 projects contain almost no programming code. Time after time, simple tools like a Claude file, basic lists, or clear guides, combined with great distribution and product taste, easily defeat complex technical engineering. Third, the largest repositories evolved from executing single tasks into full development frameworks. This ranking lets you watch the core asset scale in real time, tracking its growth from a single code file up to a fully integrated system. To get started, you should avoid building your own software framework from scratch. Open the Anthropic skills directory, duplicate one file, modify 3 lines, and Claude registers it mid-task. That is the whole setup on-ramp, taking only about 5 minutes.